Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
Yep. Every stream, guys. Every stream. We're gonna go with that opening. We're gonna do the Batista. That's gonna be my intro, okay? You know, everybody has that intro and outro. That's my intro. What's up, guys? Good afternoon. It's almost 4 p.m. Eastern time where I am. This is episode 6 of Let's Talk Pop. And George will be in a minute. Let's Talk Pop 6 episode. Yeah, 6 episode. What we're going to do today is 2 spoiler reviews. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I seen it. I liked it. Disappointed by box office results and how this film deserves more, in my opinion. And we're going to talk episode 3 of The Mandalorian, called The Convert. So 2 spoiler reviews. And then we're going to talk other news. And I'm going to ask you a food question later on. And you got to give me your answer. But welcome to the show, guys. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. So invitations are going out right now. So, okay. I like the movie. And I'm going to spoil it for you. And if you don't care about spoilers, well, that's up to you, really. Okay? That's really up to you. Okay? I liked it better than the first one. I liked it better than some of the Marvel movies. I liked the family dynamic. I like how Freddie Freeman got a lot of character development in this film. Freddie Freeman, you know. Hey George, what's up? So you just got back from the movie, right? You just got back.
Ago.
Yeah, and I know you liked it because I saw you posted it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I prefer the first film more, but I thought this was pretty good. It was a lot better than Bland Adam in Quantumanium.
Yeah, it was. It's a shame that people like the interest for this movie isn't there. The marketing isn't there, but the interest, like overall, the interest isn't there, and it's really, really not going so well in terms of box office rise. It's really bad. I mean, it may not even cost 50 million domestically, 50 million by the weekend, and by Monday, may never get to 40 million by the looks of things. It's shameful because I think this movie deserves more.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: like critic reviews are critic reviews. There's nothing you can change about the opinions of people. What matters is obviously the box office numbers. And if this film's box office obviously doesn't deliver, that most likely means this is unlikely to continue, which is sad. Because on one hand, with the way the film ended, it's like there's no cliffhanger or anything, but at the same time, it's like the door is open for more things to happen. And I feel like this could fit perfectly well in James Gunn's plans.
I think it will fit in his plan because the mid-credits scenes, I would think that this is a continuation because we get, at the mid-credits scenes, we get Hardcore and Neckbeard, or as Peacemaker likes to call him, recruit him for the Justice Society. So I would think Shazam might be in James Gunn's DCU, maybe? Like, what? Why have that?
Well, also, like the episode, well, not the episode, the movie basically is about gods and monsters itself. So it's like,
I mentioned that.
So it's like this, like the theming of Shazam fits into what I feel like Chapter 1 could be. And I know, like, he obviously gets along with Zachary Levi very well, and he says like that's one of the things that he's open to continue doing and can see a path forward. But again, it's not just about making good stuff. Unfortunately, like you can make the best thing ever, but if it's not going to deliver the money, then there's a problem. And the thing is like what helped the Suicide Squad was the HBO Max viewings. So, but the thing is, I think the windows. I don't know when this is coming out on HBO Max because I think they want to extend theater screenings for films because things are starting to go back to normal.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the same window as Black Adam, because Black Adam came to HBO Max rather quickly, right? It had like a 45-day window, I think.
Yeah.
It felt like it came to HBO Max like a week after, even though it wasn't. But that's what I felt like with Black Adam. Like right away went to streaming. I don't know. This might go to streaming quickly because of the box office stuff, numbers.
Well, one thing, one upside to this is like Zachary Levi seems to get along with Pierce Safran and James Gunn. David F. Sandberg seems very open, where like The Rock seems like his ego. Like that's the thing. I think because of Zachary Levi's and David F. Sandberg's lack of a big ego, their willingness to work and like their openness to like what's to come, I feel like the door is open for them to come back.
I feel like this movie was originally supposed to at least hint at Black Adam, mention Black Adam at times, but then they had to work around that because The Rock didn't want to do Shazam too. And you know that mid-credit scene, that wasn't really supposed to be them, right? It wasn't supposed to be Amanda Waller's team because this is still that, as you could tell from the mid-credit scene, that's before Peacemaker. That's before Peacemaker. As you could tell, from the reports were saying, it was not supposed to be them recruiting Shazam. It was supposed to be the Hawkman's team.
Well, here's another this could be considered a hot take. I feel like even though Black Adam is unlikely to continue, I think the Justice Society members are possibly going to come back. At least maybe those versions, or at least those actors.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think they fit James Gunn's style as well.
What's the point? I know James Gunn didn't cast his wife in all the DC movies, right? But what's the point of having his wife still as hardcore if he's not going to plan to continue using her?
I mean, here's the thing: he's continuing Viola Davis,
yes,
as Amanda Waller. He's continuing John Cena as Peacemaker. So the thing is, he's keeping some things. That's what people need to be aware of.
And it's not a hard reboot. It's really kind of more a soft reboot, really. If you think about it, you're going to keep some of the characters, some of the actors and actresses, and they're gonna replace some of the other. I mean, replacing Cavill, obviously we know that. We're gonna get another Batman. We don't know we're up in the air about the Flash. I think Gal Gadot's staying. I think Gal Gadot's gonna stay as Wonder Woman. I think there's a good chance Jason Momoa's gonna stay as Aquaman. Obviously, I don't know what the plan is for Cyborg. Cyborg won't be done. Might be gone.
They're most likely going to recast that character or reboot that character into Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
stuff like that.
It's one of the smart things that the DC Extended Universe did is their solo films, for the most part, are solo films. They don't feel like they're 100% heavily connected to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem with Marvel. They're sometimes too connected. I know people are like, "Oh, DC needs to connect more," but here's the thing: the smart thing about them not being overly connected is that you can still, in this new universe, you can still have the events of the first Wonder Woman, the World War I stuff, connected to this new universe if you keep Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Aquaman, the only thing about Aquaman was they mentioned Steppenwolf, but that's very brief. Everything else doesn't really connect to Justice League, so you can continue that into the next thing in DC. Yeah, the first Shazam, Superman, Batman are prominent. You got a Affleck battering. You've got the Henry Cavill Superman costume, but you don't see Henry Cavill as Superman. And again, it's a battering. So what if it looks the same? You don't really know if that's Ben Affleck Batman technically.
No,
so,
Ben. Yeah, we all know Ben. We all know Ben's done. Obviously, that based on the article, he's done with superhero genre in general.
Also, the Suicide
in general
Squad was perfect
I
proof
think it's
of
canon too.
of retooling, because you still have certain versions from the first film, but they kind of went about that film without mentioning the events of the 2016 film or even Birds of Prey.
Barely. I don't even know where Birds of Prey takes place, man. Honestly.
And the thing is like Superman Legacy is about a Superman that's been around for a few years, so you can say the Bloodsport encountering Superman thing happened like early on. So like they've done a very good job of making sure things aren't like 100% connected, where there's going to be a lot of confusion.
Doom Patrol. I Doom Patrol is a really good show. I really do like Brandon Fraser as. To me, Brandon Fraser's big comeback was not The Whale. It was actually Doom Patrol. I think it was Doom Patrol playing Robot Man, whatever his name is. I think to me that's his big comeback. It's just not people. A lot of people didn't know that because it's a CW show, and it's not a CW show, but it's kind of like build. It has like that and Titans are not CW shows really, but they're kind of people might mistake them for that. The illusion of them, they might be them as a CW show, but to me that's his big comeback really as him in that show. And you got Matt Bomer there as Negative Man is his name, and you got you got a good cast. They had Timothy Dalton was in that show for the first few seasons. It's but yeah, I mean.
Also, I will say I'm sick and tired of people saying the Shazam movies are not respectful to the previous DCEU movies, because in this film, maybe I have a different like interpretation of certain things. It felt like there were certain things in this film that I was like, this pays homage to a Zack Snyder film in some way. Like some of the fight scenes in the city reminded me of like the Man of Steel fight scenes in Metropolis.
To me, it doesn't really. I'll disagree with you now because Shazam kind of has almost the same powers as Superman in a way.
Yeah, but I will say like the camera work.
Oh, the camera. But I've seen that in almost all more movies with that. I've seen it almost in all superhero kind of movies with that kind of same camera work.
Also, the scene where he's flying with the staff reminded me of like the spear scene from BVS in a little bit.
That's the problem with Thor. That's the problem Marvel has with Thor. Thor doesn't fight beings like that.
But like again, like some of the things I was like, this feels like a homage to early DC films in some ways, and it's like he like that. So I'm like kind of sick and tired of the disrespect that Shazam movies get. Yeah. When compared to some of the other post like Justice League stuff, they've kind of been one of the more respectful products to the previous films.
Let's talk about the film, man. So I'll say this. I you know how we criticize Marvel for the jokes? I'm not going to criticize Shazam here because I actually think the jokes, the humor in this movie actually worked better than Marvel. Marvel was kind of forced. Even and here, it's not. I thought the jokes, most of them definitely landed.
Yeah, they're funny, and
yeah.
Okay, I see people are complaining about like the dream scene, but I was like, that was funny.
I laughed at that.
That was so funny. The theater laughed at that.
I'm telling you, my theater was actually pretty packed. Surprisingly, on the afternoon, there was a lot of things that the theater laughed at in that movie. This movie made me laugh. I'm sorry, like everything that scene was hilarious. That scene we were streaming that we was on a date with Wonder Woman, and then because we don't get to see Gal Gadot, right? We just see Wonder Woman, and we think it's her in the costume, or we think it's her, but then it turns out to be the Wizard. Because the Wizard did whatever to communicate with Billy Baston, right? And that was hilarious. The fake out that made me laugh.
Like that's the thing. The humor in the Shazam films, I feel like, hold up way better than a lot of the humor in some of the more recent Marvel films.
Yes. I thought they landed here. I love all the. I know some things. There's a lot of Warner Brothers IPs, hints of IPs. I remember right in the beginning, when when he thinks he's at a psychiatrist, telling telling a psychiatrist why people don't like him and stuff like that. You see, and but he's not a psychiatrist, right? It was a pediatrician, a children's doctor, right? I just noticed I saw the Annabelle doll. I'm like, what's Annabelle doing there? I'm like, oh no, Annabelle's doing there. What's Annabelle doing there? That's not good. It was funny. There's some people are complaining why we haven't seen the kid version. I think it makes sense here because I love Billy Bassett, but there's a lot of focus here on Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman got a lot of development here in this film, a lot of character development. It was as much as his film as Billy Bassett.
Well, it's funny. It felt like there was a role reversal in this film where, like, Freddie kind of wanted to like do his own thing, where he's like, Billy's like, you can tell like Billy loves his family a lot in this film. He's trying to keep everything together. Where like in the previous film, he was like very like
distant.
He was trying to shut him. Yeah, distant. Where like in this film, it's like he's afraid like of like losing them, of them like going away.
Yeah. And because Mary already is at the point where she's over 18, she doesn't have to stay. She said she kind of chose them over college or going away for university or college, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot of thing where there's a lot of stuff in this movie. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, lots.
And also, like she even said, like she finally at one point she finally got to hang out with people around her age.
Yes. And that's obviously with the younger girl. She didn't. They kind of had to word it differently around her because they don't.
Yeah.
I love that scene where she like saved the kittens before the three girls on the bridge.
Well, yeah, like that fits her character, like.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like that. I like the. I mean, look. This is not Helen Mirren's best acting performance because it's a comic book movie. I don't think you have to go 100% all the time if you're in a comic book movie. It kind of depends, but I thought Lucy Liu outshined her actually. Personally,
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Rachel Zegler outshined both of them.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like those two are the villains, while she's like not so much of a villain. But I feel like performance-wise, I feel like Rachel Zegler, I thought probably gave the best performance.
Yeah, and I liked her. There's not one character I did not like in this movie. I think I liked them all.
Here's the thing: this is not a Wonder Woman 1984 scenario.
No.
Even if Sam Burke kept like the tone, the humor, and like the likability of the characters from the first film,
the plot made sense. The everything was better.
Here's the thing: Wonder Woman 1984. What frustrated me with that film was like there were like so many long moments of exposition and like less action. While this film actually had more action. Now I do feel like they sometimes sacrificed having more action and had less family moments at times. But it was like it didn't make the film a bad movie. It did take away some of the uniqueness that the first film had, where it did have more emotional moments.
Yeah, this was a little lighter film than the first movie. The first movie was darker. Even though it was a lot of humor in it, was still a darker film.
But the special effects work was a lot better than the first film. The action was a lot better. I think they improved on some things from the first film, but there are also some things that kind of took like a bit of a downgrade. Like I think Savannah was still a better villain than Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu's characters were. I mean, I thought they were fine as villains. To be honest, Helen Mirren was not as cringe as I thought she was going to be.
Well, Max thought it was going to be cringe, but whatever.
well, Max hasn't watched the movie.
No, Lucy Liu to me, actually, I thought did better than Helen Mirren. And
I'm going to be honest, I thought she was fine, but there were a few times where I felt like she was a bit over the top, Lucy Liu. And honestly, I was expecting Helen Mirren's character to be the more evil one, not Lucy Liu's. So I felt like that was an interesting change from what I thought was being set up.
They kind of had a little bit of a different motivation, you know. She wanted to get rid of humanity, even though they both did not like humanity. She would want to wipe out humanity, right? Basically,
Yeah, because like even though the film had a lack of marketing, the marketing made it seem like Helen Mirren's character was going to be like the main bad guy, but it was really Lucy Liu that was like the main one.
Yeah, you know what? They do that a lot. They do that a lot with these kind of movies. They tend to do that. And I thought the dragon looked really, really good. I thought the dragon looked better than Shang-Chi's dragon.
Yeah, the special effects for the dragon were very good. And also, honestly, like I thought that was an interesting change though with the sisters because it makes it less predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though like I'd say like it does sometimes feel a bit generic, it's also not predictable though.
No.
Because I think that was the problem with Quantumanium was it was kind of predictable.
It was predictable, Quantumania, for sure. It's just
Black Adam was like predictable as well. So
I think we all agree with Black Adam. Like Black Adam was not a good movie, but we still had fun with it because there's some stuff in that actually made us laugh, right? This is different. This movie was actually good and made us laugh than Black Adam.
Like this has rewatchability, in my opinion. Maybe not as much as the first Shazam film, but this has a lot more rewatchability. Where Black Adam, I mean, it's not, I don't hate Black Adam, but it's like I feel like it wanted to be so many different things. At times, it wanted to be one of the early DCEU movies, but then it wants to be like one of the newer ones, and it's like it really didn't know what it wanted to do. And it was like, to be honest, I was more invested in here. And to be honest, like I'm more invested in the Justice Society than I was Black Adam himself.
Yes.
It's like I can care less if he continues. Like I can care less if he continued. Like I like to see Hawkman, and the other characters continue.
So does this take place after Black Adam or before? That's the question.
See, that's the thing because they don't even bring up Black Adam.
The problem with this movie, the problem with DC, they don't put time periods down below, or like Marvel does. Marvel does that, right? Like Marvel wants to make sure. Marvel does a great job of making sure when this takes place. That DC doesn't really do that.
Well,
you kind of have to figure it out for yourself.
I think because this film was actually supposed to originally come out after the events of the Flash film. I think this was supposed to originally be in like their original new DCEU, where it was 100% official that Gal and Jason were staying, but Michael Keaton was going to be Batman. Because because of the changes, it's like it wasn't really mentioned like when this officially takes place. Because I think David F. Sandberg made a comment saying we were going to use the Flash film to explain why the costumes were different.
And to let you guys know, Wonder Woman is not a cameo. I mean, it's a cameo, but she's not after credit or mid credit. She doesn't really have she kind of has a important role at the end. Well, we could spoil that. Billy Batson dies. Saving Philadelphia. He dies saving Philadelphia.
That was actually sad. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually more sad when that happened than when Henry Cavill Superman died. I was like, well, this is kind of sad.
Yeah. I think it had a lot more meaning to his death than Superman, really. Because the thing is, he had a whole family. Everybody. Foster brothers and sisters, foster parents. This is this time where the city was finally accepting him as their hero, right? Because he was there helping destroy those Greek-like mythology monsters, right? And they were accepting him as a hero at the time. Because remember, in this film, they were called what? Fiasco, whatever they're called, something like that. And people were like, in the paper were bashing them. People were bashing them. And then as the movie went on, when that whole thing with Lucy Liu's character, Calypso, people were accepting the family, the Shazam family. They were accepting him as their hero finally, and then he has to sacrifice himself to defeat Calypso and the dragon, and yeah, that definitely had a lot more impact, and I think it had us feeling more for that sacrifice than sadly Henry Cavill's Superman. Because in Henry Cavill's Superman, while there was Doomsday, we did not see a lot of people in the streets running or anything like that. It's like that. In this movie, we do, and I think that works.
But also, here's the thing: Shazam is a lot more likable than Henry Cavill's Superman was in Batman vs Superman. And I feel like he was also. It's kind of crazy how DC gave better character development to both Billy Batson and Shazam more than Superman.
Yeah,
and I know people are gonna say like this is disrespect to like the Trinity or whatever, but it's like I kind of see it as them like avoiding making the same mistake.
It's just the thing that's weird. When he's in this kid form, it feels like he had the wisdom there, but when he becomes Shazam, the wisdom goes away at times. Like, because what?
That's the thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Because I just laughed so hard. When Steve the pen, right, was writing, the Shazam thing. If you have Shazam, you have all these certain elements, aspects of these gods, right? The wisdom, the speed. Wisdom. He couldn't even say wisdom is solo man, and then I think he said wisdom is sour man. I laughed at that hard when he says the wisdom sour man. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Well, the thing that they continued from the first one was Billy Batson's the more mature, smart side, and Shazam's the more childish side. I know people are gonna drag the film on for that, but honestly, like it kind of makes sense. It's like when he's got all these powers, like he thinks he can do anything and like have fun with it.
The thing is, he's kind of like that in the comics and some of the live action stuff. He as Shazam, he still has a child attitude though. Yeah, kind of has that. I remember which Justice League movie is the new 52 Justice League? Was it the first one or second one when they introduced Shazam? He still had that attitude, like a kid-like attitude. So, like Shazam, he had wisdom of Solomon, but he's still a kid, and he is becoming 18. He has to become. He is starting to become mature. Obviously, Murray is the one that the common sense one, right? Right.
Yeah.
And Freddy is the one not afraid of anything, is not afraid of any obstacle, right? Because if you see him in high school, if you see him in school, obviously he needs I wouldn't say it's a cane, but he needs that thing to walk, right? And if he gets pulled all the time, but he's not afraid. As Freddy. The Justice Authority, that's pretty funny. Oh no, Degrassi. When they took a shot at Marvel, the Avengers Society. Remember that? Oh
man. That was, people thought this like one kid in the theater was like going on about it.
I love that stuff. Oh, remember that guy that's one of the civilians called him Captain Marvel? I love that stuff.
Well, wasn't that the guy that originally played him like years ago?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta look that up. Back when he was allowed to be Captain Marvel, I think. I'm gonna look that up actually.
Yeah, he was basically Captain Marvel, right? Before Cal years. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up actually because I think someone said like one of the. Okay, I can't find it.
I think Billy Batson fits the Justice Society better because they have kind of a younger team with Atom Smasher and Cyclone than the Justice League. The Justice League team it's actually kind of an older team, if you think about, besides Cyborg, even though I don't think Cyborg counts anymore, right? Because Batman's in his 40s. Superman might be, even though Superman's still around, but he won't be shown because Cavill's not Superman anymore, right? But he's still technically in that universe, right? So he's probably in his 30s. Wonder Woman, I don't know, maybe 1,000 years old. I don't know. Aquaman is definitely in his 30s, or he could be older. I don't know. Is Aquaman considered? Could he live a long time, even if he's half mortal? And I say Ezra Miller's character is probably the youngest. Might be the youngest.
Oh yeah, so the actor that played Billy Batson in the 1970s live action Shazam show, Michael Gray was in the film.
Oh, okay, awesome. Eh, I know I just saw like something that RJ posted in Tony's DM group about Sandberg not really caring if it fails at the box, so he got paid up front. I just want to say, man, like, I know you got paid, but don't say that about your movie, man. Please, that doesn't help.
Like, yeah,
And it's a good movie.
that doesn't help.
It's a good movie, man. You're burying your own movie, which is a good movie, man. You know, like, don't.
Yeah, like, yeah, don't make the same mistake that like Taika Waititi made,
Yes.
because like this movie is a million times better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, Willie DeGrasse, awesome. Yeah. Oh, it's better than I liked it better than Ant-Man, Thor: Love and Thunder. I might even say I liked it better than Black Panther.
I liked it better than like Eternals and Black Widow. I need to rewatch Wakanda Forever. I still obviously prefer No Way Home and Shang-Chi, and maybe Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
Like I still think I enjoy those more.
Here's the thing. Here's what's sad. Warner Brothers, I think they do put out the better comic book movies from time to time than Marvel. It's just that there's no marketing for them. They're putting it all in marketing and they're putting everything into this Flash. That's what they have. I guarantee you, if they tease Batman was gonna be in this film or have him as in trailer, if Batman was in this film and in the trailer, I bet you the box office would be bigger for this opening weekend. I guarantee it. I feel like the Flash. I'll say this: the trailer looks good for the Flash, but if that movie did not have Batman in it, you think anybody would care? Really, realistically?
Probably not. Like, well, at this point, like I think it's funny. People care more about Michael Keaton's Batman than Ben Affleck's.
And here's the thing: Henry Cavill's Superman did not help Black Adam. Like, I love Superman, we love Superman, but Superman's brand is not as big as it once was. And I think James Gunn is trying to rebuild that brand. He's trying to establish that brand as it once was. Okay? I think the Snyderverse, I like Henry Cavill. Like, he's a solid actor. I didn't mind his character at times, but there's a lot. But I'll say this: a lot of people did not like that Superman. They thought Zack Snyder, kind of ruined his brand, ruined the character, and that ruined the brand of Superman. And Superman has recovered since. And you can say Superman Returns maybe has something to do with that, but I think it's all the Zack Snyder stuff. I think New 52 kind of ruined him too.
The thing is like people, like the thing is people just like they don't really know what they want with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like people don't want the Donner version. People don't want the Snyder version. Like to me, like I feel like the best version of Superman was the DC animated universe, like Superman the animated series and Justice League.
The best one, I'll tell you the best one right now. Tyler Hoechlin, Superman Lois. I
haven't really watched that, so I can't really like say.
Superman. I mean Clark. He plays the roles both very well. Okay. Superman. Okay, that's how he is. I want Superman to have a sense of humor. I want Clark to have a sense of humor, because like she could be very serious, but he has a humor. He has a good charm. He has a certain charm. The thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, Superman's boring. Clark is boring." No. He's not really boring. He has a certain charm to him. He can be funny. Everybody think about Bruce Wayne is boring. If you want the real Bruce Wayne, the real Batman, he's boring. He's just, you always want to be the angry guy. He's boring, but he can play the act and pretend and make himself not boring, Clark doesn't have to do that. Superman doesn't have to do that. It's more genuine with him.
Yeah, like one of the things I would like to see with the new with James Gunn's like Superman is I would like to see like Clark and like Lois have like that friendly rivalry that they had in the animated series.
Yes. Yeah.
Like don't like rush the relationship. Like give it like have that like banter for like a little bit.
The relationship between Amy
that
Adams.
Clark funny, like some of the snarky comments would make to Lois in like the DC animated universe.
Yes.
It's like you can make Superman interesting and entertaining. You just got to get the right people.
Yes, you can. And I think Zack Snyder didn't. I mean, like I know what Zack Snyder is trying to do, but there's a lot of characters that have a lot of heroes. Actually, Clark Kent, yeah, he does have super intelligence. No. I think what pisses off Luthor is that Luthor thinks he needs to be the savior of mankind, and he wants to be a god, and he sees Superman like a god, a messiah complex. He has a messiah complex, you know. And actually, okay, but yeah, it's like you could write a good Clark Kent Superman. You can. It's just gets the right person. Is that I know what Zack Snyder is trying to do, right? But that's Batman. Like that's Bruce. It's and sometimes the Flash uses a lot of sense of humor as a coping mechanism because he still deals with stuff. He deals with his mother's death still. He just doesn't take it to a level. A lot of the heroes in DC, a lot of them have tragic backgrounds, like backstory, stuff like that, and they deal with differently. Batman is usually the one that doesn't like use humor as a well, not just Batman, but mostly Batman. Batman is the one that doesn't use humor as an escape, or something for grieving, right? Yeah. Superman doesn't really grieve. I mean, his parents' death on Krypton because he doesn't really know him. He was a baby, but he respects him. He still wants to know his heritage. And that's when his father comes in. His father, the father from Kansas, helps him, right? Like helps him understand his place in this world. His father is the one that inspires him to be Superman.
The thing I would like to see also is because there's some versions of Superman where Jonathan Kent is still alive.
Yeah,
I think they should go that route this time.
Yes.
Like you don't need to give Superman this tragic backstory where Jonathan Kent dies and that pushes him to become Superman.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're right. What he does, but he's not really trying to make a joke there, right? But you know my point. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Bruce Wayne could come up with clever jokes. He has. He's not bad at making jokes. He's actually pretty good at jokes. He just doesn't show it, obviously, because that's who he is. Batman doesn't. But yeah, this movie. Khaleesi, that got me laughing. Hey, Khaleesi! Oh my god, that was funny. Yeah, Rachel Zegers was the third sister. There's three sisters. Is it Hespera? Hespera or is it Vespera? Hespera, Calypso. What's her name? Athena, whatever her name is. Athena. Oh, I forget her name. The younger one. Whatever.
And Thea.
Thea, yeah.
Like I say,
why did one
that was really cute. Maybe because it'd be so funny if in the DC movies they basically say the events of Justice League 2 and 3 happened, but we never saw them. Like Darkseid was actually defeated. That would piss off so many fans.
Oh my god!
Like, what if in the Flash, Bruce Wayne's like, Barry, we use this to prevent Lois Lane from dying.
That would piss off a lot of fans.
Oh my goodness! Because remember that was kind of what happened. Like the Flash went back in time after the events of Justice League 2. That was Snyder's original plan. But this time, Bruce Wayne doesn't die because he was supposed to die in Zack Snyder's third Justice League.
Dude,
and he says something like
Endgame's
we use time travel.
Plan.
Oh man, that would be that when I feel like so many people will be so angry.
Endgame stole Snyder's plan. I'm kidding. Can you imagine?
Oh my! Like, look, I'm not here to trigger Snyder fans. It's just like I feel like the thing is like some of them are rooting for this film's downfall.
The post Snyder films from DC are actually better. I'm sorry. I mean, most of them, right? Like Aquaman was good.
Yes,
I like both Shazams. I like Wonder Woman 17. I guess is technically Snyder, but whatever. The Suicide Squad. And I heard some really disturbing details about the Ayers cut that Enchantress was supposed to be like controlled by Steppenwolf in the mother box. I'm like, fuck no. If that's true.
It's just like like this fascination that people have. It's like then they make an excuse saying we just want to see the story get complete. It's like, yeah, and even if the story did get complete, you're not going to care about all these other things.
Yeah. Yeah, the story ain't getting complete, man. He's still Rebel Moon. Netflix is not going to spend 250 million on 2 movies. If they canceled 130, 150 million movie, they're not going to spend that much, okay, on that. I mean, Rebel Moon's ready in development, right? It's already been filmed, stuff like that. They probably have to do some stuff to clean it up, maybe some reshoots, stuff like that. But if Rebel Moon doesn't do well, if doesn't go see well, do you think Rebel Moon's they're gonna let Snyder do a sequel? And Snyder be like, yeah, it'll cost us another 200 million to make this Rebel Moon 2. I don't think if it doesn't do well, I don't think it will do us. I think Netflix will be like, nah, we can't continue on with the sequel. Because look, Netflix is cold, right? They're cold when it comes to their stuff, right? They're cold. Because they'll cancel good stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely true. It's like they are trigger happy with canceling stuff.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. I think also people don't realize, like, DC, like Warner Bros. Wants to make like a DC universe like how the MCU is. The thing is, what Zack Snyder had was you kind of limited some things. Like you limited certain Superman story arcs, you limited certain Batman story arcs that you could have done on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are like, we like this dark, edgy stuff or like whatever. But it's like take Dick Grayson, for example, by basically making him the Robin that you kill off. Not only do you limit Batman storylines, but like you limit like how your Teen Titans can go if you ever want to do Teen Titans in the DCEU.
Warner Brothers wanted a Nightwing movie.
Yeah,
they
and like
right around the time for it.
Right around the time that they made that announcement, Zack Snyder says, "Oh, Dick Grayson was the Robin that I killed."
Yeah. I think that's the problem. Both there's no communication between Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder what the plan was. I think it's on both of them there. I really do. I think pretty sure I know Kevin Feige has a lot of power, a lot of control, but I think he has to tell Disney what the overall plan is with their MCU, how they connect and what they want to do, because otherwise they're gonna have maybe different ideas. And I think Disney doesn't really interfere in that, right? Unless they really need to. And we know now Disney is kind of taking Star Wars and Marvel a lot more serious now because of the issues they're having, especially with streaming and all that stuff. But Warner Brothers had this before. Now Disney's having it now. And Warner Bros. Is at the stage now where it doesn't seem that they have issues establishing a universe, because now they have two people running it, James Gunn and Peter Safran. James Gunn is the creative side of it, Safran is the business side of it, right? And Warner Bros. Wanted too much at the time, and they had no communication with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, they played to like rush. They rushed to try to catch up to play with Marvel.
Oh, I saw that Degrassi. I know. I saw that. Thank you for showing me. Yeah, I know. There's some jerks who at the theaters who for being assholes watching Shazam for the gods, being rude. So yeah, I saw that. Thank you though. I know people love the film. I mean, I'll tell you this: I think more people saw this film in my theater in the afternoon than they for Ant-Man. But I think it's because it was March break, and there's kids. I think you can't take. So you have to take that a grain of salt, guys. That's The Rock. That's the. That is The Rock.
Oh man, yeah, but then like I said,
It's a joke.
I did enjoy the movie overall. I actually enjoyed this more than Aquaman. I feel like.
Really? Yeah, I can see that. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, like to me, this is kind of like in the middle of the DCEU. Not my top 5, but like almost there.
Man, yeah, definitely. I do think there's a chance I mean, I know it's not. Look, it's not going to make a lot of money, right? It's not going to make a lot of money. Okay, maybe it would be the grass. It's okay. It's not going to make a lot of money. The budget was small. I mean, for $100 million budget, it looked really, really good. I'm surprised. It looked better than the Marvel movies that have twice as much budget, especially in Phase 4. I'm like, what the? I'm like, why? See, this is how you know you could do well if you do it smartly. Like Marvel, we saw Ant-Man, right? A lot of people make fun of the VFX and CGI, right? At times, and some of the green screen stuff. And that budget was like what, 200, 250. And this movie had $100 million budget, and the VFX and CGI look much better in this film with the twice as much less money.
Yeah, like the wonders you do with a small budget.
Yeah. Seriously, that's a Marvel's fault, man. I always thought Warner Bros. Did have the better. I actually thought the Warner Bros. DC stuff actually had the better VFX and CGI than Disney, though. Most part. Because, I don't know. So, I think Zachary Levi's staying. Paddington verse. What do you think of that, George?
Oh gosh, he's gonna like be like, I'm gonna take a bite out of the Paddington apple. You know what? Maybe he should join the Breenverse.
Oh, the Neil Breen verse. It was some weird ass video movie, whatever we watched yesterday. Oh my god. Turtles. That was okay. So you saw Mando episode 3? I mean, chapter 19, season 3.
Yeah.
So my thoughts were like, okay. I'm like, the season's up and down. I like episode 2. So let's just basically get your thoughts out of the way, and then we'll kind of go into detail and spoil it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna be going soon, but I mean, my thoughts on the episode were, it was nice to see Coruscant, like see what it's like post Empire.
Coruscant looked good. It looked beautiful in that film.
Yeah, it looked very good. It just feels like at this point, like maybe they should just call these like Star Wars episodes like Star Wars Chronicles, because I feel like it was more about Coruscant and less about the Mandalorian.
Especially this episode, even though right, because this episode at the beginning was Mandalorian and the ending was Mandalorian, but for 95% of the whole episode, it wasn't about Mando at all. It was about the doctor from the first season, the doctor that was supposed to clone for the Empire, Grogu, right? That was basically the episode was about.
Yeah, and like, I mean, well, like, while it's nice to see what's been going on, like post like the Empire, it just reminded me of like some of the things that Book of Boba Fett was doing, where there were episodes that were more about other things than Boba Fett.
And the viewership is really like the show is hindering now because the viewership is dropping like crazy for this show. And it's like it's Mandalorian is suffering, man. It's not really doing very well.
I think the problem is like Star Wars. They're treating Star Wars like Marvel, where we gotta get all these projects out. And the thing is, we're not like Star Wars. To me, I like when Star Wars takes its time.
Yeah,
It feels like it works better when they take their time, when they're not like giving us like a project like 2 months after the next one, or like so on and so forth.
I hope so, Degrassi, because they really need an episode that gets people hooked. It's attention. Gets their attention.
I'm gonna be honest. Season 3, that they should not have had Baby Yoda reunite with Mando in Book of Boba Fett. Season 3, maybe you could have had Season 3 be about Mando without Baby Yoda, how he deals with it, and then maybe by the end of the season have it where they reunite.
Yeah.
That would have. I feel like that would have made more sense. You could have had it where, like, you know, for like one episode you focus on Mando, then the next episode you focus on like Grogu and his like Jedi training.
Yeah, and then at the end, or near the end, he chooses which direction to go. Obviously, it goes with Mando.
I feel like they put themselves in a corner when they made that decision for Book of Boba Fett.
And it was funny. A lot of people said that. Like, a lot of people said the Mando episodes of Book of Fett were the best part of the show.
Well, they were, but the thing is, it's like now that you kind of look at it a year later and like the direction, like it feels like there's really no direction right now.
Yeah. I mean, are these anything? Is anything in these shows can lead into a movie? I know because I know they want to establish movies again, right? That's what Iger said, right? And we know they have a director on board, right? And the Taika Waititi movie is still going to happen, but any of these shows can lead into a movie.
See, that's the thing. It's really hard to see, like, if they're going to lead into anything. Like Mandalorian, like I feel like you can make a Mandalorian movie. Like out of all these shows, like Mandalorian's the one you can probably make a movie out of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing:
we don't need a movie from Andor because we all know how that ends.
Like, I know they were going to make a Kenobi movie. Maybe a Kenobi movie could have made more sense than doing a Kenobi show, like a Star Wars story Kenobi thing. But now that like you have like 6 episodes of Kenobi, it's like, where do you really see like a Kenobi movie going? Nowhere really.
Wait, let me change the banner here. I forgot.
Andor, you really can't make a movie out of that, especially because they're making like a lot of episodes. Boba Fett's it's another situation like Kenobi where they were going to do a Boba Fett movie, but now it's like Book of Boba Fett, I feel like covered what you could have probably covered in a movie, just longer.
I feel like Boba Fett was just created because he has a huge fan base, it's all fan service. Boba Fett, because Boba Fett, I know a lot of people love Boba Fett, but like if you really watch the movies, the 3 original movies, I mean from Empire to Return of the Jedi, he was never a really interesting character in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's I 100% agree with you. Like he looked cool, but he wasn't like the character. But yeah, it's like with Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, like those were supposed to be like movies.
Yeah,
but because of how Solo turned out, because of Solo like bombing, like they were shelved, and then like they decided to just make them like shows for Disney Plus.
They were scared. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Boba Fett. Like, here's the thing: I don't think a Boba Fett movie would do well. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Kenobi could have done pretty well as a movie.
Kenobi, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know. I mean, we all knew. Like, we knew his origins from Attack of the Clones. We know why. We know that Boba Fett's a clone. Blah blah blah. But there was nothing really interesting about him. Really, like
Kenobi, the nostalgia factor, I would have helped that box office.
Yeah, to me, I know there's a nostalgia factor for Fett, but I don't see it though. Like I don't see how. Like there's nothing there. There's nothing interesting about him. He's a freaking bounty hunter. That's it. That was. Kenobi, yeah. Kenobi was not that good either, great either. There's some cool moments. I mean,
I enjoyed
the best part of
Kenobi for the most part.
I
I
think the
personally
best part
liked
of
it.
Kenobi. I think the best part of Kenobi is him just him in the Vader scenes. That's it. And I do like a little bit of young Leia at times, but oh my god, she's oh my god. You know, older Leia. I wonder what older Leia would tell that younger Leia. Be like, you stop moving, stop it, stay here, stop.
Well, yeah, no, like, and I think even Sean O'Rourke, I think, said this on one of his reviews for a Mandalorian episode. It just feels like there's so much Star Wars happening right now. And the reality is like Star Wars is not Marvel or even DC, where you can have all these different characters and have all these different movies and shows. But even that's becoming overwhelming for fans. The amount of Marvel products.
I think they kind of really.
And again, this is what I mean. And I always say this. I feel like this is a Disney problem, not even a Marvel or Star Wars problem. It's a Disney problem. Disney right now, like they're just looking for things to put on their streaming service.
Oh yeah, because they when they launched, I mean, like HBO Max. HBO Max went up during the pandemic, right? Disney Plus went up like 3 or 4 or 5 months just before the pandemic, and they barely had any of their own new content, right? Mandalorian was like really the first major content they put on Disney Plus, but they were waiting for all the Marvel stuff to come up because they were planning like 3 or 4, at least 3 Marvel shows for 2020. They were hoping on that, right? They were hoping on the Marvel shows that had to be delayed all the way to 2021 because of the pandemic. Them and HBO Max got screwed over by the pandemic. I mean, like almost everybody got screwed over by the pandemic, but you know my point there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it'd probably be better if it's on HBO.
Well, I mean, look at The Last of Us and like Peacemaker.
Yeah,
HBO knows how to make quality stuff. I'm not just talking Game of Thrones. I'm just talking about their other stuff.
yes.
I mean, let's be real here. Like Pedro Pascal is in both Mandalorian and Last of Us. I feel like The Last of Us like is gonna this Last of Us like that is just a lot better than what we're getting with season 3 so far.
It feels like sometimes Disney just wants to insult our intelligence. Like we don't know.
At this point, it's becoming fast food.
Yeah, basically,
it's like it's becoming fast food, and it's kind of a shame because I feel like Disney like can make this stuff a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But like right now, it's like because they're playing catch up, because they're focused on trying to get people to watch their streaming. They're not helping their other things.
Yeah, Star Wars has always been fast food. I would like the Millennium Falcon to go, please. What would your Star Wars fast food order be, George?
I honestly have no idea.
But yeah. So let's talk about this episode. Well, this episode basically.
I gotta get going actually.
Okay,
I gotta
I'll
get
talk
ready for
about
dinner
it
and stuff.
But thank you for coming on.
All I can say is it's like episode 2 was very good. This one, it's not that it was bad. It's just it felt like they focused a lot of time just building this universe up, and that's just getting annoying in media in general. Not just Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Just like tell us good stories.
Yeah. We know they can. We know they can. But yeah, thank you for coming on. I'll talk to you later, man. You doing a stream tomorrow?
Eh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead. Promote your stuff.
I'll probably. Yeah, I'll put my stuff in. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a stream tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, but then I was like, you know what? I feel like reviewing Shazam today, so my review for Shazam is up, and I do want to do a stream tomorrow about Gunn directing Superman. So, the Ben Affleck stuff, and maybe more about Marvel and like the decline of Marvel. And maybe I don't know what day during the week, but maybe during the week I'll do like my own Fury of the Gods spoiler talk.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta talk basketball because there's a lot of things I want to talk about basketball. Like there's some stuff like Dallas is not working out. Memphis. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk basketball with. And maybe we'll do a playoff preview sometime.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean I don't know when my next basketball stream is, but if you're doing something on your sports channel, let me know if I'm available. Maybe I can come by.
Yeah, that'll be probably like 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, because like when I did my basketball stream, like I was just doing like predictions on who can make the playoffs, and it's like right now there's not enough for me to do a full stream on. But like I do want to do more basketball content because I enjoy talking it.
Yeah, I enjoy talking sports a lot too, man. It's just that a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of people in the community just are like afraid of talking sports or just hate it. And it's not much different from entertainment, really. It is entertainment if you really think about it.
Yeah, but like here's the thing: I feel like if you can learn a lot from watching sports shows on how to debate movie talk.
Yes. And Degrassi knows that too.
I got bounced because
All right.
Saturday's my night to go out for family dinner. So yeah, thank you for having me on. It was fun talking Shazam and a little bit of Star Wars.
Yeah. Anytime, man. Take care, man. Enjoy dinner.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm gonna be moving spots, guys. So bear. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I'm so glad winter's almost over, guys. It's almost officially spring. I'm so glad. If y'all want to come on, links in the chat, whatever. But since we didn't really go into a deep dive all that much with episode chapter 19, I'm gonna talk about, but if anybody else wants to come on and talk about, come in. Okay, so this episode was mostly. I'm sorry for this fucking mic. Was mostly not about Mando. Okay, Mando. It was about Mando in the beginning and the end. The thing is, okay, we'll go through the beginning. After bathing through the waters to be redeemed, Mando is not the only one. Okay, Bo-Katan is also been redeemed too. Redeemed because she went through the waters, and after she did not take off her helmet either. The rule is if you don't take off after the rule is once you go through the waters of the mines of Mandalore, and if you don't take your helmet off afterwards, you're back in the clan. You're redeemed. So Bo-Katan and her clan are basically, or her family, whatever, are redeemed. I mean, that's at the end. But they go back to where Bo-Katan's base is, castle is, and they're being chased by TIE fighters. And they go on and they manage to take out some TIE fighters. But as soon as they get to the castle, we see some bombers take out Bo-Katan's castle. And she's pissed and angry, right? She shoots one TIE fighter down, but all of a sudden, out of the clouds, I think end of the season, man. I think I'll say this. I think it's I think at the beginning, we saw that kid be initiated, into the Mandalorian, to the Creed, to do all that before that giant lizard attacked him. Lizard, alligator, crocodile attacked him. I think that's alluding to us that later down this show, later in this season, we're going to see that not exact same scene, but also a similar kind of scene without the monster attacking. But we're gonna see instead of that kid, we're gonna see Grogu be initiated. I think that's what that scene was implicating in the first episode. It's implicating for Grogu's initiation to officially become part of the creed, the religion. That's what I think that just trying to allude to. Okay? That's what I think. What do you think, Degrassi? You think I'm being reasonable there, or you think that's just a crazy out there idea? Do you think it's not a crazy idea out there idea of mine? But we see so the myth is wow, well, tame it. So they go back to where the Mandalorians, where all they are, and obviously that one Mandalorian is pissed off. Like it's not like Mando or Jajarin, right? Jajarin. They have names. I'm gonna call him Jajarin. And Bo-Katan, and he took a sample of the water, right? That he bathed through. He had to take a sample as proof. But then as we get to that, and they have to take to the we go to Coruscant, and we get the Doctor Mandalorian, and we get the Doctor from the first season, who was the Empire had to hired, was supposed to create clones, right? Use Grogu's DNA to make clones. His name was Dr. Pershing, yeah, Pen Pershing. You might have seen the actor before. He was in The Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead. Last season, the Fear of the Walking Dead. Maybe, I don't know. Fear of the Walking Dead. And he's done a lot of video game stuff. The actor who plays Dr. Pearson, he's done Call of Duty. He's done a lot of Call of Duty voice acting. I can tell you that. So we see him explain to, I guess, the Senate, the new Senate, whatever. Explain everything, what he has done, and how he wants to make up for that, and why. And he wants to give his life story, right? And then we notice that he's basically rehabilitation, right? Rehabilitation. He's part of a program, of course, where former Empire people that worked in the Empire, former people that worked in the Empire, could, go back in society, pay for, rehabilitate themselves, right? Right? He's part of that. So he's one of that. So he goes back to where he meets up with the other former Empire members, whatever you want to call them. Oh, really? Paz? Really? Wow. Is that his name, Paz? And then we get to see, they get to talk a little bit, and they talk about what they miss in the Empire. And then you see this one woman, one woman who you've seen before. It was a recurring role in the past Mandalorian episodes. Who is kind of does Moff Gideon's business, her, right? And Katie O'Brien's character, or Katie O'Brien, whatever, who the French suggested should be Abby in Last of Us, which she's too old anyway. And you can tell, when I noticed something about her, I didn't trust her from the start. There was just something about her that felt like, yeah, she's not trustworthy. I don't trust her. And obviously, I was right. She was working from the inside, man. Obviously at the end, right? She's still working for Moff Gideon. All this was her espionage, spying, basically. That's what she's doing, right? In this whole episode. And she knew about the doctor, and the doctor wants to do the cloning and all that. His research, his specialty, his craft, it's kind of banned by the New Republic. They don't do that stuff. They don't believe in that stuff. They think it's inhumane, it's dangerous, Of course, the Empire would do that. But to him, he thinks he can help the New Republic with that stuff. He thinks if in the right hands, the right people, that it can benefit society, it can benefit humanity, whatever. He's one of those people that thinks science, it doesn't matter. Science is not bad or good. It's the people who use the science, right? So he thinks he can use it for good for the New Republic, right? And he has good intentions. Vortex. Aaron. Yeah, that's my name. Say it out loud. Oh, I agree with you, Degrassi. I don't think they're I agree with you though, Degrassi. Oh man, I don't think they're saints either, man. Of course, they probably have spies themselves or whatever, or the higher ups. But I'm pretty sure Princess Leia. I'm pretty sure Leia and whoever has people she trusts to weed out the bad apples in the New Republic or wherever. Vortex for you, Vortex. I got you. You missed it.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
Vortex loves that. I don't know. I do it for you, Vortex. What time is it? And she, she gains his trust. And the thing is, I think he was falling in love with her, okay? He was definitely falling for her. The doctor was definitely falling for her. You could tell. He was definitely falling for her. Okay? Don't. But so she told Marika get the stuff he needed for a lab, right? And it's a scrapyard. So they take basically a space monorail or train, whatever you want to call it. Because in Coruscant, they have flying cars that everybody thought we were gonna have once the year 2000. Remember the time? Remember Degrassi? I know you remember this. I don't know if Vortex remembers. Remember back before the year 2000 happened? Everybody thought we were gonna have flying cars like right now. Right now. Thank Ryan Johnson. But you know how it's just we all thought we were gonna have flying cars by now. We all thought we were gonna look like the Jetsons by now. You remember that before once 2000 hit? Remember that, Degrassi? Back to the Future Part 2, Gas in the House. Yes. They lied. No. So they have to go through the scrapyard, right? Where they have the old Empire like scraps. And they found the stuff he needs, but it turns out it was all ruse by her, and he gets arrested, and he turns on him, and gets arrested, and then it turns out, then he's put under a device where it kind of like not lobotomizes the guy, but takes away some of the bad stuff, the dangerous stuff in his mind. Right, is apparently not a, and he knows what it really is. He knows what it really is, but they say no, it's not. And so, as that was happening, Kate, she tells the guy in the other room who's pushed on the switch, it's okay if I stay, and he's like, okay. So the guy leaves, and he turns it all. She turns the switch all the way around to make the device more lethal, more dangerous. Eventually, I don't know if he's killed him, but completely lobotomizes him, and where he can't reveal anything. Because, okay, like basically, I fried his brain, basically. And we all expect, and she's basically a spy for Goth Midian, right? Right? She's basically a spy for Goth Midian. I have a question for you guys. Are you okay with Goth Midian being a villain again for a third season? Or do you think end of season 2 was the best way to end his arc or whatever? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments in the live chat. Yeah. I got something to make you later. Really? You think so? Moth Media. You think so, huh? Who is your source, Vortex? Is it Mikey Sutton? I'm kidding about you though. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. I would laugh so hard at this. Do it. Source I made the fuck up. You know what? I want to make a Twitter account and have it named I made the fuck up, and then use it as a scooper account. That's it. That's it. I want to make a Twitter account named that I made the fuck up and make it a scooper account. I should do that. Just for the hell of it. Get in, really? So you might be right. Vortex might be right, dude. Now the viewership has gone down for this show, but I think they're gonna have a season 4. What the hell? Come on. 200. I watched this on Tuesday. Are anybody gonna do a season 2 of Boba Fett? Are anybody gonna do that? What? Are you kidding? Oh, come on. What? This is hilarious. Do we need a season 2 of Boba Fett? What? I have a question for you guys. What's the Star Wars universe's name? It doesn't have a nickname. It doesn't have like a DCU. It doesn't have an MCU. What are we gonna call it? STCU? Star Wars Cinematic Universe? Is that what we call it? The STCU? STCU. When you call it SWCU. Star Wars Cinematic Universe. Star Trek. Degrassi, I have a question for you. You think Picard is gonna spin off some other Star Trek shows? Star dubs. because Picard's ending in season 3, right? And Discovery is ending with season 5. The only one that's not ending, not been or is ending it or canceled, whatever, is Strange New Worlds, right? So, do you think they're spin off some more Star Wars shows or Star Trek shows? Because I really loving the Picard season 3. It's really, really good. And we got this latest episode, we got Rollback, from her, remember this latest episode? We got to see her back, and she died. Spoiler, guys. I'm spoiling at Picard 4. Is this episode 4 or 5? I forget. But she dies, but we get to see her back for at least one episode. They fooled us with Worf. We thought Worf was gonna die. G canon is the George Lucas movies. TV canon is the shows like the Disney shows and TCW. Canon is continuing canon like books and ending to games. Hold on. Are you a changeling? And I'm all for it. Dude, his son's probably gonna get his son's gonna get a spin-off, right? Yeah, like how they celebrate Christmas in the Star Wars universe. Okay. Oh, Carl Weathers is directing the 4th episode of Mando. Apollo's Creed is gonna directing the 4th episode. You think, yo, they should totally put Sylvester Stallone in a Mando season 4. Yo, Jajarin, me and you, let's box. Boba. Yeah, it's called The Foundling. Yeah, I read that. I just read that now. Uh, Vortex, go see Shazam. You go see Shazam. Okay. Oh, why is this guy Trevor? I'm sorry. I'm seeing this. Oh, you know what? I haven't watched Bad Batch in a while. Uh, well, she had to. Right? She had no choice, really, right? I mean, she could leave, right? They told her she could leave, but technically, even though she had nobody, she really didn't have any intention to redeem herself. But since she bathed under since she did the same thing as Mando and never took her mask off since, she basically redeemed herself, right? Like Mando did, and that was not her intention in the first place. But it looks like she's accepting it, right? I mean, her helmet off. She didn't. I don't see. She was not planning to do that, right? Her. I guess this is the story where it takes her now. It takes her now. This is the direction they're gonna take with Bo-Katan now. But she's still right. The grassy vortex. You could still lead, right? You could still leave. You can still leave that the religion if you want on your choice, right? You can still leave. They said that, but she looks like she isn't. Oh, you mean the dark saber? Yeah, yeah. I know you do. I know how you think, Degrassi. Yeah, that's how you think. Okay. Let's go on some other news that okay. Other news. The Penguin show. That's filming. Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Okay. Star of the show, Colin Farrell. There's a casting. New casting that came out this week of Theo Rossi. Theo Rossi. You may know him from such shows as Sons of Anarchy and the terrible movie made by Zack Snyder that came out Vortex. I don't think it came out Vortex. I'm sorry, Vortex. No, you did, Vortex. Okay. Who starred in Sons of Anarchy and also starred in the terrible Zack Snyder movie Army of the Dead. Theo Rossi is joining the Penguin show. Okay? Okay? No, I did not read. I did not read which character he is. But he's gonna play, okay? I did not read which character he's gonna play. But I think he's gonna play a villain. Okay? Okay, I think he's gonna play a villain. He's playing you? Congrats. I think he's gonna play a villain that we heard of. Okay? If you're in the Batman, if you're in the now, I don't know who, but I think he's playing a villain. Michael Zegan is Alberto Falcone, the Holiday Killer. Yeah, they're definitely have Sophia Falcone. We know who Sophia Falcone is. We know Alberto Falcone is in there. The dad's dead. The mother's in there. I know who the mother is, right? We know Clancy Brown is Salvatore Maroni. But who do you think Theo Rossi is playing? I don't think he's playing an Italian mobster. Okay. I think he's playing another, maybe other mobster or another villain. Okay. Now, could it be like a hitman? Maybe for the family? Something like that? Or something like that? Or a bodyguard? A villain we might know who becomes a villain who eventually becomes a villain we might know from the Batman lore? Maybe? Who could he play? Is a good question. If he's not, who can I think of Batman villains that should not. Victor Zsasz, I don't know, because for some reason Victor Zsasz, they always try to make Victor Zsasz, Scott Cole and James Madio. For some reason, they always try to make Victor Zsasz a hitman for some reason. Okay? And we know, if you know Victor Zsasz, he's not a hitman. He's crazier than a hitman. He's more psychotic than a hitman. If you know from the comics and the Arkham games, Victor Zsasz is literally messed up in the head, man. That's Victor Zsasz. Really messed up in the head. But for some reason, Gotham did this. They made him a hitman. The Harley Quinn movie made a hitman. He was mentioned in Batman Begins as a hitman. They tried to make him as a hitman for some reason. But Victor Zsasz is not a hitman. He's crazier than a hit. Like he's messed up. He's crazier than the Riddler, man. He's more messed up in the head than the Riddler. Some of the stuff he does. Okay? You know him. Remember, Victor Zsasz always has his marks on his body for each victim he kills. You know Zsasz. Oh, yeah, I got a. Whoops, wrong button. Okay. But yeah, so he's going to join the Penguin. That's filming right now. Probably going to be released next year. And obviously it's going to tie into the Batman 2 Part 2. And we know, technically, that all that little thing on Twitter about, oh, we cannot have Batman. You're not allowed to have Batman. We can have Bruce Wayne in the Drifter. But we cannot have Batman in the Penguin, which has been debunked and not true at all. He could appear in the show. And I think he will appear in the show because Batman, unlike the Sonyverse or Spider-Man, Batman is a central figure of the Batman universe. You cannot have a Gotham universe without Batman. The Joker's a different story because it's not going to be a universe, okay? That's not going to be a universe. We're not establishing a universe there. Okay. Okay. All right, let's move on. What's the other news? Riddle 2 is not canceled. Yeah. And people think it's the Arkham series, right? Okay. So the Riddle series from Disney Plus is not canceled. So originally it was reported that the Riddle show on Disney Plus was canceled. But a day later, Disney came out and said, no, it's not canceled, and season 2 is in the works. So this is a sign, like a bad journalism. Some not doing the research there. Some just saying something to get clicks, to get attention, without doing some honest work. Like most trades, they don't do any honest work, honestly, right? I did not watch the show. I just saw 2 episodes and I laughed throughout them, like not in a good way, actually. Some of I laugh in a different kind of way. I'm kind of laughing at this, at how the show is. Like, especially in the first episode, it felt like high school in medieval times or something like that. I don't know. It's but it's not canceled. So season 2 is in the works. I know Degrassi likes it, right? You like Willow, right? And you're gonna watch it. Vortex, are you gonna watch it? Or did you see it? But it's not canceled. It's happening. This is not Netflix, guys. No, Degrassi told me, yeah, there's a show that's gonna be canceled. It might be National Treasure, right? National Treasure might be on the chopping block. That's one of the potential shows that Disney may not continue. And that show might be on the chopping block. Oh, it's being shopped to other outlets. Oh. Isn't Willow, is Willow a Lucasfilm? Or is it part of that division? Or no? That studio? Or no? I haven't watched National Treasure, really. Like the show. I would like to see a third movie with Nicolas Cage coming back. I would like to see that. Obviously, I don't think John Voight was going to come back as the father. Yeah, Lucasfilm. Yeah, it makes sense, obviously. But it's happening, you know. I guess there's enough people in the audience that actually like it to continue it. So I'm happy for those people. It's something I don't know if I'm gonna watch. I think maybe I'll try to give season 1 a watch again. You know, try to see. You know, maybe I should give it a chance. The problem is with us viewers, as fans, we give up on a show way too early on, right? We really do sometimes. Sometimes you gotta let a show breathe. The upfronts, is that? I never heard of this. Oh, okay. So, okay. How long have I been going for? Almost 2 hours. That's good. That's good, man. That's good because I can stream WWE 2K23 when I end this out. Yeah. All right. What else is there? Okay. Denzel Washington has been cast in the Gladiator 2, the sequel. Okay? They might have to. Do you think any other network is really? Do you think any other network or outlets really interested in it? Do you think they see potential? Do you see like this could be a risk worth taking on? Also, so yes, Denzel Washington is gonna be starring in Gladiator 2, the sequel to the Gladiator movie with Ridley Scott. No, I'm one of those few people who suggested that Gladiator did not need a sequel. You know, it's one of those movies it's there's movies that are better off as standalones, and I figured like I thought the Joker was clearly a standalone film. Obviously not, made $1 billion. Why not, right? Todd Phillips basically said at the time, yeah, this is a standalone film. They gave him more money, and they gave him and they said, you know what? We actually think we want a sequel, and he's like, okay, we'll do a sequel. Gladiator to me, I didn't think it needed a sequel. I thought the story was good, but I think it's gonna be based on his son, Russell Crowe's son, right? His son is gonna be the focus here. And I'm not sure how many, right? Obviously, there's a new Roman Empire, a new Roman emperor, right? In the film or whatever. It's Ridley Scott, so him directing this movie obviously could be really, really good. Gladiator 1 was an iconic film, big time film. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I heard that before. So Denzel Washington is joining Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2. Oh, Gladiator 2 has Barry potential Bond list. Awesome. So it has Barry Keoghan as he's gonna play the Emperor as rumored. Yeah, he's gonna play the Emperor. Apparently, the new Emperor, Barry Keoghan, Denzel Washington, Paul Mescal, and to correct me if I'm wrong. It's gonna be based on Russell Crowe's son, right? And speaking of Bond, not movie related, or video game related. I don't know if you heard, guys, that the next Bond video game might be like an origin game of James Bond, like how he became James Bond, all that kind of stuff, the beginning stages of James Bond, all that stuff, how he became 007, all that game based on the video game stuff. So video game. So that's the rumored James Bond stuff with video games. So that's pretty big. Gladiator comes out next year. Oh, nephew. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Now, how long have I gone for? 2 hours almost. I have a question for you. I have a question for everybody, my viewers. Do you like hamburgers? Do you like hamburgers? Do you like eating a burger? Do you like eating burgers? And no, we're not talking about. We're not going. This is not going to be about food. Well, kind of. But do you guys like? Do you guys like? Oh man, he's gonna get killed by his betrayer. He's gonna get killed by Brutus. I think it's Brutus, right? Brutus is the one who betrays him. Or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm dropped. Oh yeah, internet. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. So you guys like hamburgers? What do you like on your burgers? What do you like on your burgers? Really? You like everything on your burgers? Okay. Here.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Y'all remember the movie Good Burger? Y'all remember that movie? Good Burger? Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell. You know, Nickelodeon days. Kel has been doing some smaller stuff, but you know Keenan's he's been a Saturday Night Live for how many years has Keenan been on Saturday Night Live? I think is Kenan Thompson the all-time longest cast member of all time for SNL? Like seriously, I think he must be I think he has the title right of being the longest member of SNL of all time. But you know, I really like the movie. I really love the movie Good Burger back in the mid '90s or late '90s, whatever. You know, they had a legendary comedian Sinbad in it. It was hilarious. Oh, you like everything, huh? I like mustard, lettuce, tomato. I don't like onion. I do like onion a little bit, actually. But yeah, so Paramount did announce that Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell, I think it's his name, Kel Mitchell, yeah, if I remember, are coming back for a Good Burger sequel. So they officially greenlit a Good Burger sequel with those two coming back. Of course, you need Good Burger needs those two to come back. They are those two. If when you ever see them on screen with each other, they're magic, right? They go hand in hand. They're magic together. Like if you're young, if you're born in the 2000s or 2010, well, born in the 2000s, you may not be aware of those two back in the 90s, of how much stuff they did together. Okay, those two. You may. Oh Willie, wow. You may know Keane Thompson. Obviously, he's at Saturday Night Live, but you may know him from the Mighty Ducks movie. But he hasn't really done. I mean, he's done some stuff, but he's not major stuff. I think he has his own sitcom, if I'm correct. You may know. I don't want to. I mean, he sadly did that Fat Albert movie, and that had Mr. Crosby in it. Crosby had worked on that movie. Yeah. But go check them out because they're a tremendous duo when they're together. And I see Cal Mitchell. He still works with Nickelodeon a bit. Oh my God! Yeah, Bill Cosby. I mean, this guy. Yeah, Cosby. Yeah, Cosby. I didn't want to say his name. I know. Hey. But yeah, they're gonna make a. I hope Sinbad comes back. I mean, what happened to Sinbad? Like, this guy's not of good. I know, man. He's going back. Oh my God, he's not canceled, right? Not even. He's definitely not canceled. Oh, if O.J. Simpson cannot be canceled, and Cosby is definitely not canceled. Like Degrassi says, like my buddy Degrassi says, there's no such thing as cancellation. Right? Isn't that what you said, Degrassi? There's no such thing. But young people, go check these two out. I wonder what Sinbad's been doing because he was pretty popular in the 90s. I was young in the 90s, but I saw Sinbad in a lot of stuff. Jingle All the Way, obviously, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he was just so much stuff, Sinbad. What has he been doing? Probably still being a comedian and going on tours, but when did this fame take a turn? Well, he's actually pretty old. Sinbad's 66 years old, man. I didn't realize he was 66 years old. Wow. Oh, he hasn't done a lot of movies lately. Atlanta. He was in Atlanta. Wow. Yo, dude. He cracks me up too, man. I watch his tweets when he makes those videos. I do too. When he gives his opinion and views on stuff, I do too, man. It cracks me up. Good burger, man. Hey, did Cal Mitchell and Keane Thompson at one point have a falling out? I know they're good. I know they patched out over the years, but I think they did have a falling out, didn't they? Oh, really? I hope he can make it. I hope he could do something small for the movie. Maybe they have a small role. Hope they could do something. But I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I think Cal and Keenan did have a falling out at one point, but I know they patched up over the years. Or otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this movie together. Let me check. So, yeah, it's like Kel Mitchell did a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, right? A lot of Nickelodeon. Sorry about that. I'm back. Oh, I can see why. Yeah. I just like this, man.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Oh, by the way, Kel Mitchell's voice is not like that. Sometimes. But he's done a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, man. A lot of Nickelodeon stuff. A lot of TV. He's done a lot of TV. Tell you that. Especially Nickelodeon shows. Lots. But you know what? I'm gonna end it here. Just over 2 hours. Good stream. You know what? If I had some people on, if I had some people on, we might have gone maybe extra half an hour or extra hour. Because this is actually a very good stream of energy for a stream in the afternoon. But yeah, well, thank you everybody for watching. George coming on and everybody watching. Watch on the replay if you missed this. Make sure to do the typical like, share this out, subscribe, and check out my sports channel. So actually, my sports channel is actually quite growing on there. I'm doing very well on it, actually. Go see Shazam. The box office numbers are not going to. This movie is going to be a flop in terms of money wise, but quality wise, this is not a flop. It's a good movie. It's a fun, good movie. Go see it, man. I think you'll enjoy it. And Blind Umbrella, if you're watching this, go watch the movie. But yeah, take care, everybody. AWO, Aaron Warner, is out.